guys, this is Megan from You Go To Be Kidding. The neighbor is mowing, so it's a little loud, but hopefully it's not too bad. I'm actually way out back with our goats. Goodness, they're really loud, but so I don't think we've ever showed you guys way out back here, but I wanted to give you an update, see how the goats are doing, show you them, and give you a couple little updates just of life around the farm. So we've got Ivy, River chewing on her leash. Oh, not chewing on the leash, just chewing on the little tree stump there. We've got Ivy and Cedar, who is doing really well, and Elron, the buckling we kept out of Tansy, Mr. Fox and Soxer, and Tansy, and then Link is hiding in the fort that the kids made last winter. So we have a video about that. It was snowing and crazy and the kids were out here. And then actually there's this cool fort that they got started working on. As you can see here, they actually like sunk these, they cut down the cedars, they sunk these 4 posts and started making these rafters. I'm surprised actually that the goats haven't like tried to knock it over. But so we are way out back here. You can see just barely a little woven wire fence right there. So we're right at the back of our property. We go off south quite a bit, but it's a cool space back here. The goats are doing really well. We've been able to move the goats. So you can see all this brush on the ground. There's actually a bunch of poison ivy in this grass. But if I go where River's hanging out is actually where they were just before here. And you can see the ground is much more bare, much clearer. So that is, it's been working really well to have the goats come through here. You can even see the bark they've been stripping off the trees. And that's okay. These are all cedar trees and we do not need them all. It's obviously very overgrown. River's being trouble. Hey, you. Oh, she is growing like a weed. Oh, we are gonna still working to try to train her well and raise her upright. But we are learning as much as she is. So, yeah, we don't really know what we're doing, but she's a sweet dog and we just gotta try to work on her. She's got herself tied up. Can you just turn around? Sweet girl. So health-wise, I think for the first time in a long time, all of our goats are doing really well. So we've been doing a copper bolus. It's worked out to about every 3 months that I've needed to give them some copper. I can see it in their coats, especially the black goats. It's really helpful. The hair starts to kind of turn a rusty orangish brown. So they're all looking really good. Ivy and Tansy's coats are really smooth and shiny. And everybody is doing really well. Elrond here is probably the one that needs the most work. His coat is a little faded out. But I've given him copper recently too, so I'll just keep on top of him. He is intact, and so his nutrition needs are a little higher than I would have imagined, you know, than Cedar, who is just hanging out. She looks good. She hangs out with her mama. That little girl is so friendly. She kind of escapes each morning as we take the girls all the way up to the barn, and she's been coming with us, which is kind of fun. It's good practice for her to know what to do. So I don't mind too much. Hi, Ivy. But I love having them out here in the forest because it's not too hot for them. There's plenty of shade. It is several degrees cooler here under these trees than it is anywhere else. And so it's the best place for them. They love to eat the trees. That's the best nutrition for them. Goats do not enjoy being stuck on grass pastures. So I'm thankful for this forest back here. It is a little bit of a pain in the rear to have to hike all the way out here and take the does up to the barn to milk them. But it's not too bad. The kids help with that, obviously. And it really is going pretty well. So our goats are doing well. I'm really thankful. I just love getting to watch them out here. It's a lot of fun. So this is a good example of what the goats do to the grass and all those weeds that are up. They strip them of all their leaves. And what would be awesome is if we could get our mower back here. But in farm fashion, our mower is broken. It worked just fine for the 6 to 8 weeks that we didn't need to mow because it didn't rain. And now it's rained several times, which we're so thankful for. It can keep raining all at once. But of course, the mower is broken. So we're just kind of dealing with, I mean, overall, it's okay. The sheep mow for us. It's not too big of a deal. It's just aesthetically a little messy down our driveway and around the edges and stuff, but we'll get it taken care of. It's just kind of ironic. The goats are funny. I just left them. So they're calling as if I've, neglected them in some way. They do it every time you leave them. We're headed back up towards the barn, so we have to come all the way through here. Come out, we've got some drainage that goes along here. We have a wet weather pond, but it pretty much is only wet in the winter. In the summer, it does not hold any water. There's some runoff that goes down there, meets up with a little creek we've got. Again, pretty much only wet in winter. And then this opens up to this back pasture we have here that we ran the goats and the sheep through earlier and mostly over the winter. And then this path leads on up to the barn. And, oh, she dropped it. She was holding the leash in her mouth like she was taking herself for a walk. River, can you sit? Sit? Yes. Good girl. She's learning. She's also smart enough to know she doesn't have to do it I don't know, if I can't make her, so. So here's a little bit of water we've got going. This is where the water comes from. We get a little bit, and then we have this area here where it pools up, but as you can see, there's not even enough to come on through, so wet, and then it goes down that direction. So we actually have some other things going on this week. We actually got the chance to process a friend's turkey. It was huge. It ended up being 24 pounds. And so we didn't have a bag that fitted, and then we had to wait for Amazon to ship it. And then the USPS postman pulled up to our house to deliver the package, and then couldn't find it or didn't feel like looking for it and drove off without delivering it. So we had to wait a whole extra day. But we got it all packaged up, we got it delivered to our friends, and they're gonna have a pretty awesome Thanksgiving turkey. So that was kind of fun getting to do that for the first time. This weekend is round 2 of processing chickens. We have a bunch of friends coming to help us, which we're so thankful for. And we've got some other stuff going on with our laying hens and our sheep, and I'm gonna go show you them real quick too. Hello, chicken friends. So last week, or 2 weeks ago now, we were dealing with the predators and all of the meat birds we lost. We got that solved. But then yesterday morning, we came out and we had a bunch of chickens out in my garden and a couple of piles of feathers right around here. And the gate was locked and everything was all good. And so we think that maybe a fox jumped in and got some. We think our door was opening a little early. So we lost 3 laying hens this week. And, that's always a bummer. But it was just a one-time thing. I was able to change the timer on their door, and hopefully that fixed our problem. But we'll keep you updated if a predator comes back. A friend said that she has a game camera that we might borrow and hook up. So if I get some cool photos, I'll share those too. Hopefully that was just a one-time thing. So our sheep are out front here. They're actually in the very front corner. And they'll get started going back this way. And the grass is actually green. It actually is really thick and has been growing. Hallelujah for some rain. So I'm excited to get them moving through, that they actually have some grass to eat. But our sad news is that we do now only have 5 sheep. So our little lamb that we've been struggling with, we just could not get him any better. We saw no change, nothing new with him. And so it's been Friday, which is tomorrow, will be a full 3 weeks that he was down and paralyzed. and we just couldn't let him go any longer. He was still eating and trying to drink, but we'd given him as many vitamins and supplements and everything we could think of, and we didn't see any change. So we did go ahead and put him down. Now the coolest thing is that there is an agricultural center here up in Nashville like metro, that will actually accept animals and do a free necropsy to let us know. So we dropped him off this morning, and we're gonna get some testing back, and so we'll know if it's something more serious, if it really is white muscle disease, which seems weird that he didn't respond at all. So I'm just looking forward to knowing, and if there's something that we need to fix for our other animals, then that would be a huge help. So I'm so thankful that we're gonna get some answers and not be unsure. So these guys are doing well. We're of course really bummed to lose a lamb, but these ones are doing pretty well, and we are hoping to get them all the way to our winter harvest. So they're cute, they're out here, they've got some green grass to eat, and it's just about time for them to move again. So